Hey, welcome to the Biochemistry Academy. In this video, we will talk about triglycerol and fatty acids. Now, let us begin with fatty acids. What are fatty acids? Fatty acids are carboxylic acids with a hydrocarbon side chain. They are the simplest form of lipids. Now, fatty acids can either be saturated or unsaturated. Saturated fatty acids do not contain double bonds, while unsaturated fatty acids contain one or more double bonds. Both the saturated and unsaturated fatty acids almost equally occur in the natural lipids. Fatty acids with one double bond are called monounsaturated, and those with two or more are collectively known as polyunsaturated fatty acids, or we can use the short form PUFA. Let's talk about the nomenclature of fatty acids. The naming of fatty acid, which is the systematic name, is based on the hydrocarbon from which it is derived. The saturated fatty acid end with the suffix anoic. For example, we have the octanoic acid, while the unsaturated fatty acid end with the suffix enoic, e.g. the octadecanoic acid. Now let's talk about the numbering of fatty acid. The numbering of the carbon atoms is in two different ways, which is given. We can name it from either the right hand side to the left hand side, which is our normal numbering system, starting from the acidic parts: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Or we can name it from the left hand side to the right hand side: omega 1, omega 2, omega 3, omega 4, and omega 5, leaving the carboxylic side out. Depending on the length of carbon chains, fatty acids are categorized into three groups: the short chain, which is with less than 6 carbons, the medium chain with 8 to 14 carbons, and the long chain with 16 to 24 carbons. In this table below, we showed the saturated fatty acids, their systematic name, their abbreviation, and their structure. Essential fatty acids. The fatty acids that cannot be synthesized by the body and are therefore supplied in the diet are known as essential fatty acids. Chemically, they are polyunsaturated fatty acids. For example, the linoleic acid and the linoleic acid. Arachidonic acid becomes essential if its precursor, linoleic acid, is not provided in the diet in sufficient amounts. The structure of essential fatty acids are given in the table that we presented. Biochemical basis for essentiality. Linoleic acid and linolenic acids are essential since humans lack the enzyme that can introduce double bonds beyond carbon 9 to 10. Now, the functions of essential fatty acids. Essential fatty acids are required for the membrane structure and function, the transport of cholesterol, the formation of lipoproteins, the prevention of fatty liver, and many more. They are also needed for the synthesis of another important group of compounds, namely the eicosanoids. Now, what are the deficiencies when one is deficient in essential fatty acids? The deficiency of essential fatty acid results in phrenoderma or toad skin, which is characterized by the presence of honey eruptions. on the posterior and lateral parts of limbs, on the back and buttocks, the loss of hair, and poor wound healing. Isomerism in unsaturated fatty acids. Unsaturated fatty acid exhibits geometric isomerism, depending on the orientation of groups around the double bond axis. If the atom or acyl groups are present on the same side of the double bond, it is a cis configuration. On the other hand, if the group occur on the opposite side, it is a trans configuration. Thus, oleic acid is a cis isomer, while elatic acid is a trans isomer. Cis isomers are less stable than the trans isomers. Most of the naturally occurring unsaturated fatty acids exist as the cis isomers. In the cis isomeric form, there is a molecular binding at the double bond. Thus, oleic acid exists in an L shape, where elatic acid is a straight chain. Increase in the number of double bonds will cause more bends, and arachidonic acid with 4 double bonds will have a U shape. It is believed that the cis isomers of fatty acids with their characteristic bond will compactly pack the membrane structure. Hydroxy fatty acids. Some of the fatty acids are hydroxylated. The beta-hydroxybutyric acid, one of the ketone bodies produced in metabolism, is a simple example of hydroxy fatty acid. Cerobonic acid and ricinoleic acid are long-chain hydroxy fatty acids. The cyclic fatty acid. Fatty acids with cyclic structure are rather rare. For example, the calmogric acid found in the calmogria oil used in leprosy treatment contain cyclopentyl ring. The icosanoids. These compounds are related to icosapolinic fatty acids. Hey, put over.